Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby. I'm the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist, and this is Daily Fuel. And you're in the replay. I know that because there's nobody here yet. Well, now actually, just as I said that, two people showed up. So hi, maybe you're not in the replay, and if whatever. Anyway, do me a favor. If you're watching in the replay, let me know that you're here. Just write comments, write things. Liking and hearting in the replay is fine. I don't usually always notice that, but if you write a comment, hashtags replay artist, hashtag something, make one up. I like that. I like that a lot. But definitely comment on what I'm talking about, because especially in the replay, people write comments and I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't remember what I said, and you're saying stuff, and it's just it's fun to me to read that. Unless you're someone like Amy or Kelly who writes an essay in the replay, then I know exactly what you're talking about, because it's like you go all the way back to the beginning of time to express your opinion. But sometimes the comments and the replays are just like, that was so right what you said or something, and I'm like, I don't know what I said. So anyway, oh, Marsha, I can see your face. Hey, that's cool. Hey, Bobby, good evening, Marsha says, and Mikey is here. Hey there, and Amy is here. Hello, everyone in the replay. Yeah, you're not in the replay, Amy. Anyway, okay, so I'm just going to wait a few more seconds, and we'll see if other people show up, and we will get started. So if you're here live, now somebody else doesn't show up. Hi, it says, oh, hang on, guys, I forgot to hit this. Yeah, see, I gotta lower the volume. Hi, who is that? That is Catherine. Hi, Catherine. How you doing? You don't show up. Darn it, that stinks. Catherine is watching with you. That's cool. Yeah, Catherine, I don't know, because you're new here. Did you click on that Ecamm link in the thing? You have to give, I'm using Ecamm Live, and it will only show me your face and name if you hit the link and gave it permission. Unfortunately, it's been glitchy lately, and it doesn't always show me everyone's face. Amy's here, Robin's here. So, Catherine, just for now, do me a favor. Just put a K and with a colon and then your comments, and this way I know it's you. If not, I'll look here. All right, I'm going to get started. Here we go. Special. Okay, so in 1917, Marcel Duchamp created Fountain. And he didn't have like this vision to create a urinal on its side. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the picture of today's Daily Fuel post, right? It's the picture, it's a urinal, if you didn't know what that was. And it's on its side, and he wrote R. Mutt on it, because that was the name of the artist who made it, but it was him. And the reason he did that was because he was he was on the board of the New York Society of Snooty People thing, and they were having an artist showing. It was an art society. It wasn't like some weird society that decided to showcase art. It was an art society. And they were going to have a showing, and part of their constitution or their bylaws or whatever was that anything that was submitted by a member of the society must be presented in the showing. And so he wanted to test their resolve on this law, because they're all like, we have to show everybody, He wanted to test their resolve. So what he did is he went to a hardware store, a plumbing supply store. He bought a urinal, and he put it on its side. He wrote a fake name on it and said, hey, look, somebody submitted this. And they all went, what is this? We're not showcasing this. This is dumb. And he's like, no, you have to, right? And so they voted on it, and he voted, of course, to put it in the showcase. They didn't all vote against it. I think I read it was a narrow margin, but it was nixed. And he resigned from the board of the Snooty Duty People Society in protest. So, what is the point of this? Is a urinal special? No, I don't really think so. And he wasn't creating it because he thought urinals was special. And it was interesting to me because I was thinking, well, what makes art special? Because a lot of times people think it's talent, right? And I said this the other day. It's like, if you want to show your art to a wide general audience, it's great if you're a realistic artist. If you can draw a picture of someone's face and it's like, oh my God, that looks just like that person, people are going to be like amazed at you and think that you're, up on high or something like that. And there are other kinds of art that are generally accepted as art, right? As good special art, I mean. But Fountain was not, and he didn't draw it. He didn't make it. He bought it and he put it on its side and wrote a name on it, and that was it. You know, but it proved a point. It proved a point. And part of me wonders if it had not been censored by the snooty duties, would we even remember it? He might have just been like, oh, I guess they do follow their own rules. And that would have been the end of that. And people would have looked at it and been like, a urinal, that's dumb. And gone off. And at the end of the show, he probably would have put it in the dumpster. And we would have never known that this happened. But luckily, they snootied it and they banned it, and that was that. And it sprouted the Dada movement, which I'm not a big fan of Dada. It's not anything that I love or anything like that, but I recognize its importance. And for me, the second thing, so the first thing is talent. Like, I think talent makes it special, but it's not just talent, right? Because this is a special piece of art, but it didn't take much artistic talent to create it. He had to think of the idea and execute it, but it didn't really take any talent to do that. What it does take, however, is that emotional energy, that thing that comes from inside you, that the spirit of you, right? For Duchamp, it was testing his peers. That was what made this special. Was he was testing the resolve and the he's part of this community that's supposed to be about art, and he's like, I don't believe it, I'm gonna test it. And he did, and he proved a point. But for somebody like my favorite artist, Van Gogh, he wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to express the pain of life, like life's deepest pains, which he felt in such a way that, like, thank God most of us don't feel it, that badly. So, the expression of emotion or energy is what I think makes art special. And in this case, I think that, the urinal thing, the fountain, that fit into that camp. But here's the thing, the third thing that I think really, really, really makes it special, and that's you, the artist. And that's what made Van Gogh special. That's what made Duchamp special. The energy has to be authentic to you. Anybody could have been like, these guys are pompous asses, so I'm going to just submit a urinal. And it wouldn't have worked, because it could have backfired on the artist to just be like, you're just a dick, But he had the authentic. It was authentic for him to do that, is what I'm trying to say. So I think that what happens for us is that we try to fit in. We try to make things that we think other people are going to like. And this has kind of turned into the theme of this week's Daily Fuels, right? But, hopefully we've all had somebody in our lives. For me, it was my mom, right? That said to us, if you want somebody to like you, you have to like yourself first. If you want respect from other people, you have to respect yourself first. You want people to love you, you got to love yourself first. Well, if we want people to love our art, we have to love our art first. We have to make what we love, what just comes out of us naturally. Instead of trying to, the word I usually use is dilute. We try to dilute it to make it more palatable for people. And that's what makes it special. To make what is authentic to you makes it special, because it's special to you. And then the people who also see it as special will gather around you. And this is hard for people to do because it risks a lot of rejection. And I think people don't like rejection, and they don't want to risk rejection, and so they don't. Right? They don't. That's why a lot of musicians make pop music. A lot of artists make things that people can recognize as art. Look at this. Oh, that's very nice. Pat on the head. Right? So we don't risk rejection enough, and that's what makes it not special. So, all right, I'm going to go to the comments now and see what we got. And, yeah, let's see. Okay, so Amy's here and Marsha's here, and that's Catherine and Amy and Robin with mushrooms. What are those, mushrooms today? Hi there. Hi, tonight. No, I didn't click it. Okay, yeah, click it for next time. You only have to click it one time, and then it should work for future lives. But we've been having a problem, and I don't know, maybe it got fixed because Marsha has not been showing up, but today she did. So let's see. Richard says hola, and Catherine says LOL, what a process. The modern equivalent of that urinal is the banana duct tape to a wall. Yeah, right. Anything like that, just to prove a point or something. Richard says perception is art. Perception is art. You know, that's that. Okay, let me riff on that a second. So again, I think that people perceive something that is recognizable as good art. It's curious to me because I feel like there's something I'm trying to say here that I didn't really nail, and that comment is helping me. Thank you. Because what was this next thing you said? It was the art of an idea. Okay. So it's kind of like this. Why is somebody like I'm going to talk about Van Gogh because I think more of us know him. Why was somebody like Van Gogh ridiculed in his lifetime but praised today? Did the human species evolve in some way in 100 years? No, right? It's like, how come nobody in his time could recognize the brilliance and the genius in his work? And maybe it was because they couldn't look past the man. I mean, he was drunk and he's bumbling around and he didn't pay his bills and all this shit, right? And it's just like he was probably a loser, you know? So they didn't even look at the art because they couldn't see past him. And it's like I want to say we have to be more like he was because he just created what came out of his heart, but he didn't do it in a way that he reaped the benefits. It's like, yeah, he's Van Gogh and he's in every museum and everyone loves him, but who cares? He's dead. He's not getting the accolades. You know, he didn't get anything out of it. And the Duchamp thing is like, at least he was around for what happened from it. But it's curious to me because you what you said about perception there, Richard, is like, why do people perceive certain things as garbage or crap when with a little bit of time it becomes, oh my God, that's genius. I just didn't see it before. And I think that it has to start with us as the creator of our life, of our art. You have to see the genius in it, and you have to, damn it, it's genius. And people will start seeing it around you. I believe that. Does a story to the art make it special? Does a story to the art make it special? I think it does. I actually really enjoy when the people in this group post something along with a comment to it. Like not just posting a painting they did, but tell me something about the painting. Because I think that knowing what went into it, knowing the emotion behind it, why did you paint this? What made you choose this medium or this subject or this whatever? It's like, because if all it is a photograph of a I'm using paintings because a lot of you post paintings, right? But if you just post a photograph, then the only thing we have to look at is the image itself, But when there's a story behind it, suddenly the emotion that went into it sort of takes shape, Otherwise, I have to fill in those gaps myself as the viewer. And I think that's why a lot of people lose the they don't get the full feeling that they should be getting when looking at art in a museum, say. It's like, I can remember going to the museum as a kid and just hearing people saying all the time, like, my kid could paint it better than that, And it's like, and meanwhile it was, a Picasso or Monet or whatever. And it's like, but nobody understood that was a particular art movement. Nobody understood that was a style that took their entire life to perfect. But, a kid with a crayon can do the same thing. We know that they can't, but when you're just looking at the painting on the wall, you may not understand or Jackson Pollock, right? I could throw paint on a canvas and I make $1 million. Oh, give me some paint, I'll do it right now. But how many times have you heard that about a Jackson Pollock, right? But we I think sometimes, that's why if you look at like a realistic painting, it's almost like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like Norman Rockwell. People just loved Norman Rockwell. Was he the greatest? No, but he was great. I think I love his work, but because I also know the stories behind it, not just because he could paint a face that looked just like a face. That's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I recognize him because it's perfect. That doesn't matter, I don't think. So he does a story to the art, make it special. I could have just said yes, but I said all that. So there you go. Robin, sometimes art is an expression of something in the air of the times. Oh, I even put something about timely, and I was going to have a whole section on that, and I wasn't going anywhere, so I took it out. So maybe you're going to go somewhere. The air of the times. Like when I started painting, I found that it was similar to other stuff that other artists were doing at the time, even though I never saw it. Okay, that's interesting, right? As if it was something in the air. So Duchamp's idea of the urinal and then later the Dada movement took hold. Would not be possible if it wasn't something that got in the air for many other artists too. I suspect, and I also suspect, because everything is sort of an evolution. Everything is of the times, right? So when was that? 1917, right? And then it really took. My 20th century art history is lacking. I took the classes in college, but I don't remember as much as I wish that I did. And but it's like I can think of plenty of things. Like first of all, Robin, yes, I completely agree with that. That there is definitely a movement, because I don't think art exists in a vacuum. We live in our culture, we live in our society, and whether that's our neighborhoods and our cities, and then the country and even the world at large now with the internet and everything. And we're constantly being influenced by the things around us. So I think what happens is, especially as an artist now, because with the internet and everything, I'm going to use music as an example because I'm doing this a lot with music. I can listen to bands that a lot of us might know from the radio or from Spotify playlists because they're just all over the place, right? But then I'll make music that is clearly influenced by that, but I'll add my own touch of things. But I bet that there are people all over the place who are making music that's similar to mine because we're being inspired maybe by the same energy. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's source energy inspiring all of us humans, and there's 7 billion of us, so maybe 3 or 4 of us are getting the same inspiration, and we create things that are similar. I always find it interesting when Hollywood studios make the same movie twice. I read an article on it, and that it's usually a coincidence. Like when Pixar and DreamWorks did A Bug's Life and Ants or something. Like they weren't competing to make the better insect movie. They just both happened to make one, and there were tons of other examples of things like that. So it's interesting that happens. Mikey says artists are usually ahead of their time. Yeah, well, we are, right? Because I think we are connected in ways that everybody's connected, but we have an outlet for it that most people don't. That's why I call it our secret weapon. Catherine said that. Catherine, thanks for the case. It's really helpful, because otherwise I'd have to do this. Who is it? I can't see. So now I don't, but I did it anyway. Catherine, he got karma, LOL. Who got karma? You wrote that a day and a half ago. I don't know who we're talking about anymore. He got karma. Let's see. I was talking about Duchamp and I was talking about Van Gogh. So one of them, I'm assuming, is who you mean. But yeah, so much time has passed. Now I don't know what you're talking about. That happens all the time. A story behind the art is like hearing a song with words. That's probably why you guys all write essays now, because you know when you do things like that. See, Catherine's new here, so she doesn't realize that happens. But the rest of you now write these essays. Marcia, a story behind the art is like hearing a song with words, more understandable and moving to the soul. Yeah. Exactly, right? It's like I see the pictures and I see what you guys write about it. Like I was here. It doesn't even have to be much. It could just be a sentence or two, just to sort of give an inkling of what the emotion behind this was. And I think that just helps the viewer feel the energy of it. and for me, words and lyrics in music is almost all that I hear. It's the first thing I listen to is the person's voice and the words that they're saying, and the music to me is secondary. But I'm also biased because I'm a singer. Robin, I love Van Gogh too, and often feel like I identify with him, and that I've only sold one thing so far, and I create mostly for me to get my ideas out. But on the other hand, I also love Paul Klee, even though he sold many things. So I'm probably rambling with thoughts everywhere tonight. That's okay. But both are artists expressing themselves because they were special in their own way. Yes, I agree. And I also, if you notice, nothing about special was like the person who sells the most, because that's not anything. That's just what a market thinks something is worth in a particular moment. Again, Van Gogh's stuff is probably worth more than just about anybody who's alive today, but he didn't get any of it. So, did that make him special or us special or whoever special? I don't think that that's really what it is. I think what you're saying is you create for yourself, and I would suggest you keep doing that. And if you want to sell more, then you might need to try different tactics of how to sell them, rather than I need to change what I'm making, because what you're making is what's authentic to you. You're just not showing it to the right people in that case. Catherine, getting in the air is basically quantum. Yes, I think I know what getting in the air? What did I say that? I don't remember what I said. This is funny to me. And then I remember sometimes and I laugh. Or I'll watch it back and be like, oh yeah, that's right. But yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about, is getting in the quantum. It's like whatever whatever that inspiration is, get in the quantum and feel it and then express it through art is basically all I talk about on these lives. And if we could do that, Robin, then create the art that comes out of that. And then what I'll say is the right people will find it, even if that means we need to change the tactics of how to get it in front of them. But the strategy never changes. The strategy is I am going to get in the quantum, get that energy into me, express it through art, and only that. And I don't care that this is popular or that guy likes this better. None of that is relevant to me, because that's not what's coming out of me. This is coming out of me. And it doesn't matter that I'm in this group of 10,000 people who all say that is dead and we don't do that anymore. It doesn't matter. It's coming out of me, which means that Source is telling me, you got to make this. And if I want to sell it, all I have to do is go into the quantum and say, okay, I know what to make. Now how do I sell it? And get okay with that question, and maybe they'll give you that answer too, because that's what they do. All right, Richard says Cold Shoulder Band promo. Nope, no idea what that means. You're promoting your band? That's what it's called, the Cold Shoulder Band. Okay, Robin, I write essays now because your comments don't sometimes match up because too much time has passed, so we try to help you out. Yes, thank you. And Catherine, it was Van Gogh. You said he got nothing because he couldn't enjoy fame, but he got karma, so he got something. Okay, very good. Thank you. Yeah, he did get karma. And it would be nice to think, now I did say Van Gogh got nothing out of it because he died and blah, 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 blah. But we know better than that. We are eternal beings, right? Just because he died doesn't mean he didn't get anything out of it. He got everything out of it. So, but I want it while I'm breathing. Right? So, Friends band humor. Cool. All right, that was fun. If there are any more comments, drop them fast, because if not, then Richard gets the booby prize tonight. Catherine, you almost got it, but Richard swooped in there with another comment. I always give a booby prize to the last person to comment. There's no prize. And I'm kind of done. So if... this is when I start rambling, because I don't have an ending to this show. I just sort of say goodnight for 15 minutes. Not 15 minutes. Anyway, I'm done. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, thank you very much for hanging out with me. And also, as always, if there are things you want me to talk about, please let me know. Do a post. Send me a message. Something. and because I'm always looking for things to talk about in Daily Fuel. What the boob? Who's that? What the boob? Oh, that's Richard. Now you're showing up, not showing up? That's weird. Okay. We love hearing you. Titties? Now, did I say? Oh, booby prize. I swear to God, sometimes I have no idea, and then it hits me, and I'm like, a booby prize. No. This. Yeah, so Amy made this, right? This is because I gave out a booby prize at the end. Can you see that? It is so, the lights are so bright in here, but I have the ISO down really low. Anyway, that's the booby prize. There's no booby prize, but now Titties gets it. So there you go. Who wrote that? That's Catherine. Oh no, and then Richard wrote booby prize. All right. Anyway, you know what? I'm really done now. Goodbye. Thanks so much. Have a great night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.